Hey folks, I'm Gary Carlin, owner of Mosses Creek Outdoors. I'm going to share a little information with you here involving some old-time hunting from back many years ago. Back in the old days, how folks used to hunt the coons and possums. It's pretty amazing to listen to the stories told from many years ago, how it used to go and what they used to do. Back in the old days, it was a pretty common thing. Folks was killing coons and possums all the time, and if it's like it was with some members of my family, they didn't ever waste nothing. I mean, anything they killed, it was meat on the table. So they didn't waste no coon, they didn't waste no possum. Nowadays, we got real modern technology when it comes to all these lights and electronics involved with hunting with dogs. Back in the day that my granddad used to talk about, when all the hunting went on, there wasn't no such thing as all that. And nowadays we got nice modern smooth shooting rifles. A lot of those folks back many years ago didn't have all that. All they had was just old rough equipment. If you went out at night and you was gonna see anything, you had to start out with this right here, an old-fashioned carbide light. First you had to get the carbide, come in a can, look like gray rocks or gravel. Have to put it in the back of that light. Have to get that carbide wet. And you light that old light, the flame would come out the front. The higher you turn the flame up, the more it would reflect off of that shield on the front of the light. And of course, the brighter the light would be. And that's the only thing you had. Thereafter, a little while back in the old days, some of the old timers, they discovered the technique of toting an old oil lantern with them. They claimed that old oil lantern would put out just enough light to make an old coon or possum's eyes shine. And something else they carried. Nope, not no gun. They got their chopping axe ready. So they'd round up their carbide light, lantern, chopping axe. The old dog would get off down there in the woods and get treed somewhere, and here the party would start. Well, once the dogs were treed, there was two options. If it was a big tree, you climb the tree and get the coon or possum, hands on. If it was a smaller tree, you take the chopping axe and chop the tree down. That's just how it worked. Wasn't no gun involved. This here's my triple great grandmother, Sarah. She didn't waste nothing. I can guarantee you nothing. Here's a picture over here when she was a bit younger. She was a Cherokee Indian for the most part. People would bring coons and possums and fish and anything there was to hunt in this country back many years ago. They'd take it or bring it up to her, and she would take it. It didn't matter what it was. And another thing, she would always tell that person when to be back to eat also. And of course, there's Felix smoking his pipe, as always. There was just so much old hunting used to go on all across the country back many years ago. It was an everyday thing with so many folks. Going hunting, going squirrel hunting, possum hunting, coon hunting. Wasn't no deer hunting or turkey hunting in this part of the country back then. That was way before those days. Deer or turkey hadn't even been thought of. Ticks, there wasn't no ticks back then. People didn't ever worry about them because they wasn't here. As far as varmints, didn't have no coyotes back then. That was the big days for foxes. Foxes was a big thing that was catching everybody's chickens during them days. I really appreciate you joining me on this story. I'm glad that all the old time stories that I heard from my family and my granddad from many years ago stuck in my mind and hung with me until today to be able to tell some of them. I'm Garen Carlin, owner of Mosses Creek Outdoors, and I'll see you next time.